Hello.
Hello.
I asked for tomorrow's classes. I asked madam to arrange for tomorrow classes, but she didn't said anything. But if she gives any information, I will inform in the group. Is it okay?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Shailaja, will you give me a number, please, if you don't mind?
Okay.
Yes, even I want your number, Shailaja.
Shailaja.
Mic off.
Students, welcome back. Today, this is an extra class for paper 1. Paper 1, we left some of the topics. So that the topics we left on that day, we try to cover those topics. And uh, now, our lesson number 26, language, society and culture.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good evening. Language, society and culture. This is
Good
lesson number
afternoon, sir.
6. Lesson number 26, language, society and culture. It is one of the significant areas of
Good afternoon, sir.
the language, and in this we will discuss language, society and culture. Students, just all, all of you mute yourself. Yeah, all of you mute yourself and don't talk anything. This concept, language, society and culture, very important understanding, the conceptualized understanding of language and its relation to society and culture. Whether language is an isolated process or language is learnt through the interaction. Most of the language scholars agree that language is not an isolated process. Language learning, teaching or learning language is possible in a collective way, in an interactive way, so that we will have the discussion on the relation between language, society and culture. Yes, language and society, culture. Yes. Here we must have the understanding of culture. Culture is part of the society. Human societies have some basic institutions, basic systems, culture and civilization. These two are important components in which we must have the definition. What is culture? What is civilization? Culture is the broader term there are many subcomponents in the culture. language, religion, food habits, family system, the way we speak, traditions, practices, customs. These are parts and parcels of the culture. So that broadly talking about language is part of a culture. The way you speak shows your culture. Yes. The way you communicate shows your culture. Yes. Language is part of culture. Culture is not part of the language. Culture is a whole in which it has many subcomponents. From this understanding, we try to look at the other component, that is civilization. Civilization deals with technological advancement. Culture and civilization are interrelated but not the same. What we are is our culture. What we use is our civilization. Here the language is a component, a major component of one's culture. Yes. In this lesson, lesson number 26, we discuss that how language is influenced by the culture, how linguistic components influence the language learning. In order to understand this, you can look at the page number 271 in your course book. There is a fundamental relationship between language, culture, and society. The use of language changes according to the speaker, the listener, their relationship and contact in the context or situation. This understanding of language shows the language is not a simply series of grammatical and linguistic structures to be learned, but it is also a social practice. From the second point, language does not function merely as a linguistic code. It also involves social practices of interpreting and making meaning. That means it highlights the discourse, the purpose of discourse, and the form of discourse. The third point, see, language should be studied from the points of view of both form and function. The structure of language changes with respect to its different social functions. These are three understandings about the language learning. Basically, the word language derived from the Latin word lingua, which means to communicate, to share, to speak something. So that the basic objective of any human language is for communication. Through language only, we express our feelings, emotions, desires, needs, opinions, and Human language is much progressive than any other mode of language. That is why we find many differences between human communication and animal communication. We need to understand the different language learning theories. In our course book, we have different approaches. Among them, we can see the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. Look at page number 272. In this you find the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. The great American linguist and anthropologist Edward Sapir and Benjamin Lee Whorf, they did many experiments. Based on their observations, they proposed a hypothesis called the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. It is a short question in our academic examination. There are three basic assumptions in their hypothesis. Look at page number 273. A. Can you read it out? A, B, C. Any one of you. Can you read?
There are certain thoughts of an individual in one language that cannot be understood by those who use another language. B.
Yes.
The hypothesis
Please
states
stop.
that
Please stop. Stop. A. Thoughts of an individual in one language cannot be understood by the people of other language. Yes. Say for example, if we speak in one language, if I do not know your language, I cannot understand. It's very simple. The ideas of an individual can be understood better by others if they know his or her language. That is the meaning. Now, point 2.
B. The hypothesis states that the way people think is strongly affected by their native languages.
Yes. The way we think, underline, the way we think. The way we think is strongly affected by the native languages. Languages always influence the people, it shows. Yes. If your thought process in English, you will be thinking, your mindset will be like an Englishman. If you think in your mother tongue like Hindi, Urdu or Telugu, your mindset goes like that only. Number 3.
Structural differences between languages are paralleled by non-linguistic cognitive differences as well as differences in social cultural behavior patterns.
Yes. We find structural differences in the languages. Yes. The structure of the English language is subject plus verb plus object. I teach paper 1. I subject, teach verb, paper 1 object. If I say the same sentence in mother tongue like Telugu, నేను పేపర్ 1 బోధిస్తాను. నేను పేపర్ 1 బోధిస్తాను. నేను సబ్జెక్ట్, పేపర్ 1 ఆబ్జెక్ట్, బోధిస్తాను verb. See, when we say the same sentence in English, the structure is subject plus verb plus object. If we say the same sentence in any other language other than English, subject plus object plus verb. These are structural differences. These structural differences can be found in socio-cultural differences also. Yes, based on individuals' background, social background, cultural background, linguistic background. They also influence the structural differences. These are the basic assumptions of their hypothesis. This hypothesis can be called the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. The second concept, learning language through culture. Yes, at the beginning of our discussion today, I gave you the relation between language and culture. Yes, learning language always gets the inspiration from the culture. Yes, culture is very important. We learn English language. That means we not only learn English language, unknowingly we learn English culture, English lifestyle. When we show interest in a particular language, that in a long run that may not lead to only language learning, but also inspires the culture. Cultural impact. Cultural impact can be significant. That is why language learning.
Like that Western style, sir?
Yes. Take down the fourth line in this paragraph. It is not learning of a single culture, but it focuses on both the target language and the culture and the learner's own language and the culture simultaneously. In this way, learning to communicate language involves developing an awareness of the ways in which culture interrelates with the languages. Culture and language both are interrelated. So learning a language through culture is cultural promotion. Culture promoted the languages. Different cultures. Language is a significant factor in the cultural aspects. Socio-cultural approaches to study the languages. There are some approaches we have in English. These are called socio-cultural approaches. This means language is part of culture and society is considered in the domain of sociolinguists. So that in this pattern, we have different approaches, expressions to learn the language. I must tell you there are two important schools of language teaching and learning. Structural school of language teaching, socio-linguistic school of language teaching and learning. Structural school means in this, learning language is possible by using the structures, by knowing the structures, by getting command over the structures. Only structures, selected structures. Whereas socio-linguistic or socio-linguist school of learning means society plays an important role in the language learning. Then come to the significance of culture in language learning. Page number 274. Yes. Can you read anyone? Significance of culture in language learning.
In teaching language, culture and social practices need proper attention to balance curriculum. The task in a class should show a balance between treating language as a code and a social practice of meaning, making and interpreting. In developing language capabilities, the learner should be given attention to culture and society for the following reasons.
One.
Culture provides a diverse space for language practice and is a body of information.
Yes, culture provides space for language learning. B.
The understanding of culture affects language learning. It plays central role in the way meanings are interpreted.
1. Underline. Culture provides space. 2. Culture affects language learning. 3.
C.
Culture provides factual and authentic material. Factual and authentic material. D. Culture facilitates communication. These are four important understandings of the significance of culture in language learning. I will repeat the four important significance of culture. Culture provides diverse space. 2. Culture affects language learning. C. Culture provides factual and authentic material. D. Culture facilitates the communication. Now we move to language variation in society and culture. Language varies according to the subject matter and the participants in communication. In other words, varied linguistic realizations of socio-cultural meanings, in a sense, are both familiar and unfamiliar. However, these are nevertheless relative to particular cultures, societies, social groups, speech, communities, languages, dialects, and styles. Language differs not only in terms of one person to another, but also from one group of speech community like family, village, town, and region. Moreover, people of different ages, sexes, social classes, occupations, or cultural groups in the same community will show variation in their speech. In this way, language differs in geographical and social space. Yes. As I told you earlier, language always influenced and inspired because as part of the society, as part of the culture, we learn the language. And the curriculum is part of the society. Curriculum looks at the all-round development of the children. While framing curriculum, the curriculum framers will take many related aspects from the learner's side and also from the interest of the country, from the interest of the society. Curriculum looks at all round, and curriculum looks at the different backgrounds of the learners, socio, cultural, and linguistic background of the learners. Not only providing the curricular activities, but also in addition to the curricular activities, co-curricular and extracurricular activities are provided as part of curriculum. That is why it is a broader discussion to talk about language, society, and culture. Yes. This is a common understanding and better understanding of relation between language and culture. Now we'll move to page number 279, lesson number 27. Dialect, relect, register, style. A short question, sometimes maybe long question also. You need to understand the four important linguistic terminology. What is dialect and the examples of dialect? Idiolect and its examples. Register and its examples. Style. What is style? These are four important concepts. Many times, dialect and idiolect are asked together. Register and style can be asked together as a question. Yes. We know language is system of many systems because within the language we have different systems: phonology, morphology, syntax, lexis, orthography, stylistics, semantics. I will repeat these organs again. Language is system of many systems like phonology, morphology, syntax, lexis, orthography, stylistics, semantics. These are different systems. Each system looks at the different aspects of. Yes. Now we move to page number 280. We move to page number 280, varieties of language. Very interesting discussion in this. We will see different varieties of language. Basically, we will see the four components. Dialect. In Telugu, we call it as Mandalikam. Mandalikam. Yes, every language has many dialects. Every language has many dialects. English language, since it is a global language, it is being spoken across the globe, so that there is no uniformity in the pronunciation while speaking English. Basically, in the world, we use or we find the two types of Englishes. This concept can be discussed as world Englishes. Of course, we have this concept. Maybe we may find it at the end of the lesson, at the end of our course book. World Englishes. American English versus British English. In terms of, there are differences between American English and British English. Pronunciation differences, spelling differences, usage differences, very rarely grammatical differences we have. Say for example, we use diphthong sounds, we pronounce diphthong sound differently in British English, and we pronounce the same diphthong sound in another way, a little difference in American pronunciation. Almost all the countries are using English as part of their curriculum. Yes, we Indians, we use most of the times British pronunciation. British English plays a vital role in Indian curriculum, Indian academics. Of course, after software industry, after multinational companies, American English got prominence. That is different issue. But right from the beginning of the English language, we Indian speakers of English were much influenced by the British way of English. Yes. And mother tongue influence, that is MTI, known as mother tongue influence, is very common, and it affects the target language speaking, because we, the speakers of the mother, my mother tongue is Telugu. Your mother tongue may be, some of you are from Hindi, some of you have Urdu as the mother tongue, some of I heard, some of you are even Tamil, Malayalam languages are your mother tongues. While speaking English, we see the influence of mother tongue on our English. Dialect is a spoken variety of a language. Spoken variety of a language is called dialect. Telugu language has many dialects. We know. Yes, within Telugu we have Telangana Telugu, Kostandhra Telugu, Rayalaseema Telugu. Same language is same, Telugu only, but we have dialects. The people of Telangana, they speak Telugu differently. No, basic concept is same, but the way of speaking is different. Kostandhra people, say East, West and Guntur people, they speak textbook language. Go to Rayalaseema, their way of speaking is different. See, basically, the dialect is a spoken variety in a language is called dialect. A spoken variety in a language called dialect. English has many dialects. Yes. England based countries, England influenced English, Americans, US influenced English. The world has been distributed between the two segments, between the two communication systems. A country like India, in which we find multilingualism, is a breath to India, which means we have many languages. No single language got prominence in India. Yes, according to the Constitution of India, we have 22 languages. We have more than 300 languages in India, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Almost all the people of India, educated people of India, they use English as part of their communication, directly or indirectly. This happens, and the people of Telangana speak English different. You go to Odisha, the people they speak different. If we say school, Odisha people they say his school, school only, but his school. He, the word ha, he is preceded before the pronunciation. Yes. And like Telugu, how we say, for example, Telugu word like Atadu Vachadu. Vachadu, Atadu Vachadu is prominent Telugu, noted as prominent Telugu, not the prominent Telugu. I say again, it is discussion. Textbook. Atadu Vachadu. In Telangana, Atadu Vachindu. Vachindu. It is in Rayalaseema, Atadu Vachinadu. Vachadu in Kostandhra, Vachindu in Telangana, Vachinadu in Rayalaseema. The matter is conveyed, the message is conveyed, the message is reached, but the way we speak is different. Tinna, Tintunna, Tinnadu, Tinnadu. Ame Tinnadi, Tinnadi. Atadu Tinnadu, Tinnadu, eating. Tinnadu is very slang word and colloquial word, informal word in Telugu from Telangana region. We go to Andhra region, Tinnadu, Tintunnadu. We go to Rayalaseema, Tintundenu, Tinuchundenu. See, these are dialectical differences. Sometimes dialect is a boon or bane. It's a boon, not a bane. Yes. When the language grows and grows, when the language improves and improves, when the language becomes, when the language spreads, it has many branches. It has many large number of social sections. Yes. Dialects are very common in any language. Now, look at page number 280. Can you read these sentences under dialect? Dialect is a regional. Mohan, are you with me or students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dialect.
Yes, sir.
Can you give the definition for dialect?
Dialect is
Spoken language is called dialects.
A regional variety of a language which differs in vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation from other varieties of the same language spoken by those who are set off from others geographically or socially. Dialect is a regional, temporal, or social variety within a single language. Simply, my definition is a spoken variety of a language is called dialect. a spoken variety of the language. Yes. In the written, when you come to the writing part, you cannot find the dialect because writing part we may not see the dialectical differences, but the spoken part dialects are very prominent. The way we speak that shows that from which area you are coming, which area you belong. Say for example, if you use yeah, నేను ఇప్పుడే వచ్చాను, తిన్నారండి, ఏమండి తిన్నారా, ఏమండి భోజనం చేశారా. See, if you ask Telugu, ఏమండి భోజనం చేశారా, what region you belong to, immediately notice కోస్తాంధ్ర. ఏమండి భోజనం చేశారా, ఏ తిన్నావా, ఏంది భయ్ తిన్నావా, ఏ తిన్నావా, తిన్నావా, రాయలసీమ, తిన్నావా, రాయలసీమ. See, how do you recognize? See, the dialects are prominent in any language. Yes. Similarly, it is present in Hindi language also. Hyderabad in Hindi is mixed up with Urdu, Awadh, Ayodhya Hindi, and the other parts of central parts of India speak Hindi differently. Dialects are very common in many languages. Moreover, dialects show the seniority of the language. It's not a babe, it's a bone. Yes. Dialect and standard language. I must talk on this. What is standard language? What do you feel? It is your language is standard language and his language is substandard language. See, my dear students, standard language is always a big question mark. It is like $1 million question. Whose language is standard? To you, your language is standard. To me, my language is standard. In India, we talk about the standard English. The people of Hyderabad, they say that our English is standard English. The people of Delhi, they say that our English is standard English. See, the term standard itself is a discourse. Whose English is standard? American English or British English? Logically, theoretically speaking, the people of southern eastern part of England, they speak standard language. Their pronunciation is known as received pronunciation, known as RP. The BBC use RP, received pronunciation, which is known as the standard pronunciation. In fact, while looking at the standard pronunciation, still you do not find the standard pronunciation even in England also. The concept of standard pronunciation or received pronunciation in English still remains on the papers, practically talking about whose language, whose things. Yes, based on their socio-cultural performance. Yes, everybody thinks that their pronunciation of language is standard pronunciation. Yes. With this, you have to understand the concept of dialect and its importance, its prominence in English and other languages. Now, to move to page number 281. Language has many dialects. English language, how it has many dialects. Similarly, every language can be noticed into different dialects. Yes. But people have some misconceptions about dialect. Yeah, look at some of the misconceptions about dialects. There are a lot of confusions regarding dialect. It is generally conceived that dialects are spoken by someone who belongs to a remote area where literacy is low. People consider it as unsophisticated language and therefore hesitate to use it in public offices and such other domains. But this is only a misunderstanding and undermining of the linguistic richness of the language. Some of the major facts as misconceptions regarding dialects are given below. Here we can understand the 4 important points regarding the misunderstanding. Most of the times, what do you think? Telangana Telugu is substandard, Coastandhra Telugu is super, Rayalaseema Telugu is substandard, Coastandhra Telugu is super. All people speak Telugu only, but not substandard, not standard. It's not the matter. Or some people think that the people of the remote areas, they use colloquial language, they use some slang, they use different dialects so that they are illiterates or they are less educated people. No, this is a wrong notion of understanding. Linguistic richness must be understood. Language is like water. If you pour water in a glass, it gets the shape of the glass. If you pour water in a bucket, it gets the shape of the bucket. If you pour water in a cup, it gets the shape of the cup. Language is also same. Yes, the people based on their geographical, based on their linguistic region, not the educated or uneducated, it not the matter whether they are literate or illiterate. It depends on their understanding, depends on their geographical location. With this, you can see the four important things. Can you read A, B, C, D? Four must be ready. A must be ready, then B, followed by C, then D. A.
It is conceived that a dialect is substandard, incorrect, and slang and spoken by others. But in reality, everyone speaks a dialect. Everyone who speaks a language speaks some dialect of the language. It is not possible to speak a language without speaking a dialect of the language.
Please make it underline. It is not possible to speak a language without speaking a dialect of a language. Yes, that means if you speak this dialect, you are less educated or semi-educated or literate or semi-literate. No, these are misconceptions. The dialect is the richness, linguistic richness. It shows the linguistic richness. It is not substandard or it is not secondary or it is not slang. Every dialect is beautiful. The dialects are branches. They are like branches to the language. How the tree falls down without branches, language automatically gets down without dialects. Yes, probably we know the importance of the branches. Similarly, dialects, all dialects are like branches. No branch is no branch is substandard or no branch is less prominence. All branches have equal prominence. Now, B.
It is regarded that a dialect incorporates negative connotations, but it does not depend on the linguistic nature. Instead, it is determined by the social values and the social positions of the community of its speakers. However, it does not mean that dialects are used only by socially disfavored groups. It may be beyond social status, and there are socially favored as well as socially disfavored dialects.
Yes. Don't think that when we speak in different dialect, socially disadvantaged sections or marginalized sections, they are using the dialects. No, it is wrong. It is not related. It is not the correct opinion that when we speak in a particular dialect, don't come to a drastic conclusion that this belongs socially disfavored groups and all. No. Say for example, take Telangana. If we speak in Mahabubnagar accent, Mahabubnagar dialect, Mahabubnagar is much backward area. That means it is economically backward area because of drought conditions and all. But don't think that if they speak in Mahabubnagar dialect, they are disfavored or any other type of thing. It is richness. It shows the richness. Don't make any negative connotations while understanding the linguistic code and linguistic nature of the language and its dialect. Now, see.
There is a notion that there are highly noticeable features that keep dialects away from the standard language, but in reality, some dialects get much more attention than others, and moreover, the special characteristics of dialects are not negative qualities.
Yes, dialects are not negative qualities. Dialects are not negative qualities. Keep the book here. Dialects are not negative qualities. Don't think that some dialects are important or standard. We always come to the misconception that dialects away from the standard language. No, that's why I have been telling you the concept of standard language is always, It's very funny question. It's very funny and this thing. And really, when we talk about the some dialects are more noticed, they are noticed prominently rather than the standard language. That is why dialects do not have the negative qualities. Nothing wrong in using dialects. Nothing wrong in speaking different dialects. How? The language is always right. The people of Telangana, right. The people of Andhra, right. The people of Rayalaseema, right. They may use the dialect, different dialects, but the idea, language is just communication, a channel of communication. Idea is important. And moreover, the way they speak, that reflects their richness. It's richness of the language. It is not disadvantage. It's not the negative quality. Moreover, it is the positive outlook, positive aspects of the language. Number D.
It is considered that dialects are the result of unsuccessful attempts to speak the correct and standard form of a language. But the fact is not this. A dialect emerges not from the failure to adopt the features of standard language. Instead, it emerges from the special needs of the community of speakers and their territory.
Yes, it is also a misconception that people think that unsuccessful attempts to speak the standard language, dialects are giving importance. No, dialects come out not because of the unsuccessful attempts of the standard language. Never. Moreover, dialects caters the needs, the special needs of the community and the speakers of the territory. Yes. It is not the result of unsuccessful attempts. Don't think that dialects are the results of unsuccessful attempts. And we are trying to get the standard language. In course of time, we are getting the dialects and all. It is wrong conception. It is not like that. Dialects are always adds beauty to the language, adds linguistic variety. It is linguistic, greatness. Yes, that's why at the beginning of the discussion, I told you that dialects are boon to the language, not bane to the language. Yes. And moreover, it adds beauty to the language. Now, come to idiolect. Idiolect is another important component. Yes. The same communication, the same way of speaking. I can say otherwise, a single person may use different varieties of speaking based on his needs, is called idiolect. Yes. Pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary. I can say speech variety of an individual person. Speech variety of an individual person. It is personal difference, not the linguistic difference. Say, for example, in my home, I speak with my family different. So, for example, I want to say something about a person. I can say, my follower, Mr. Mahesh, has not come to office. Mr. Mahesh, who is my subordinate in the office, he did not attend the duty. I shared this news to my family members, or my boss, or my friends, or my well-wishers. Mahesh did not office today. When I go to my officer, when I go to the principal or the register, I report, sir, I want to bring to your notice, Mr. John, who is our office subordinate, did not attend the duties today. I reported. The same thing when I report to my family members or my wife or my children, I say that, my dear, what happened? That dirty John, that dirty Mahesh, who is my subordinate, that fellow bunked today. If I report the same thing to my friend, what happened? Mr. Mahesh jumped today. He did not attend the duties. See, it is a spoken variety of an individual person. Yes. Based on the situation, context, we use this. It is called idiolect. It is also a common feature in all languages. Yes, in Telugu also. Say, for example, సేమ్ తెలుగులో చెప్పాను అనుకోండి, ఇట్లా అంటాను, సార్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళాను, నా బిగ్ బాస్ నా ఆఫీసర్ వెళ్ళాను, సార్ అవర్ ఆఫీస్ అసిస్టెంట్ మహేష్ ఈరోజు రాలేదు సార్, అవర్ ఆఫీస్ అసిస్టెంట్ మహేష్ ఈరోజు రాలేదు సార్, సార్ అవర్ ఆఫీస్ అసిస్టెంట్ మహేష్ రాలేదు సార్. వెరీ ఫార్మల్ కన్వర్జేషన్. నా ఇంట్లో నా ఫ్యామిలీ మెంబర్స్ చెప్పాను, మై వైఫ్ ఆర్ మై చిల్డ్రన్ చెప్పాను, హలో డియర్ మహేష్ గారు ఈరోజు ఆఫీస్కి రాలేదు, మహేష్ గారు ఈరోజు ఆఫీస్కి వచ్చి సావలా, నీకు చెప్తున్నా, ఫ్రెండ్కి చెప్తున్నా, కలీగ్ చెప్తున్నా, అబ్బాయి లేడా ఆఫీస్లో మహేష్ రాలేదు. What did you understand from these utterances? The same communication, a variety of speech used by the same individual based on mood and situation, it is called an dialect. ఒకే వ్యక్తి సిచ్యువేషన్ అనుగుణంగా వివిధ సందర్భాల్లో వివిధగా మాట్లాడుతూ ఉంటాం. We know all the people we speak differently in Telugu, English and many other things. This is called an dialect. Yes, it is like a speech variety of individual speaker. My pronunciation is different, my grammar is different, my vocabulary is different. This is unique characteristic in the language. Yes, used by individual speaker. This is called a dialect. Whereas dialect is a spoken variety of a language, a dialect is a speech variety of individual speaker. It is individual speaker related, that is language related. That is why dialect is different, dialect is different. Hope you understand the concept of dialect and dialect and difference between dialect and dialect. You understand this?
Yes, sir. Clearly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Come to page number 285, register. Register means not our attendance register, not our office register. Register is something
Sir, unable to hear your voice, sir.
Yes, sir. You're
Voice unable, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are unable to hear your voice, sir.
Not able to hear, sir.
It's not audible.
yes, sir. We are not getting your voice, sir.
I think it's a technical problem.
Yes, we are waiting.
Hello. Not able to hear, sir.
Yeah, students, welcome back.
Yes, sir. We are not. Yes, sir.
Yeah, a technical problem.
Okay.
We're talking about register. Yes, look at page number 285. Whereas dialects are the varieties of a language according to the users. Dialects are the varieties of the language, but registers are the varieties of language associated with the language use and people occupation. Yes, registers are different from the occupations. Based on our occupational needs, we say about the registers. Yes, you can see the definition given in line number 3. Varieties of language which correspond to different situations different speaker and listeners or readers and writers and so on. This may be called, no, this one, register. As I say that, no, based on the profession, dialect is something, a same person based on voice, uniqueness and all the things. Earlier I gave the example about when we speak with the family, when we speak in the office, when we communicate with elders, we take different words. These different words based on the profession are the examples of register. A register is also determined by the medium mode of discourse. The main distinction is between speech and writing, but in speech also one may find such distinctions as conversation, discussion, debate, lecture, talk. That is why registers play an important role. Yes, each variety will be the register. And you can see some of the words given in page number 286, types of register. Here we can have a variety of registers in page number 286. Yeah, related to different things, different types of registers. And another concept is style. Look at page number 287. Style plays an important role in determining registers. Basically, style is the language variety determined on the basis of the users. Yes, determined on the basis of the users. Users. Register is based on the use. Registers deal with use. Style deals with users. Yes. Say for example, style refers to the relation among the participating people who may talk of religion in a temple or at a seminar with scholars or in a restaurant with friends. So style deals with language variety which is based on users. Yes. You can see the difference, the fourth line from the end of the paragraph. The degree of formality varies according to the style and manner of discourse. For instance, one can say that the water is dirty in the hotel, but in laboratory, one may say that it is polluted. Same water. When we go to restaurant, then we say water is dirty. The same situation is faced in laboratory. We use water is impure or polluted. Yes. And we can understand, we can notice the style in these two situations based on users. Yes. The word that we use. Formal and informal expressions, like take down this sentence also. When we say formal expression, all the visitors are requested to move on the second floor to participate in the meeting. This formal style of dealing or giving statement. The informal style of giving statement or style is, hi, come and join the meeting on the second floor. Yes, hi guys, come and join the meeting on the second floor. This is informal style. Basically, style focuses on, or style is a language variety which is determined on the basis of its users. This can be noticed as the style. At the end, 288 page, you can see, let's sum up. Let us sum up. Can you read? Let's sum up. Register, style. The simple definitions have been given.
The
The
major
major
points
point
discussed.
yeah, a dialect is a language defined by territory and social community, whereas a dialect is a collection of differences in an individual speech. The register is defined by references to subject matter and medium of discourse use. The style depends on the level of formality and intimacy as well on the status of the user.
Yes, these are the three simple understandings of these three terms. For the short questions, you have register and style. The long questions, you can have facts and misconceptions of dialect. And also sometimes you may get question on dialect and redialect as long question, register and style as together as the long question in the examination. Lesson number 28. In this also, we will find some of the important and linguistic concepts. In this also, we will find some of the important linguistic concepts. Pidgin, Creole, Langue, Parole, and Standard English. Yes, Pidgin and Creoles, Langue and Parole, Standard English. We will see this, the meanings of these systems. These are linguistic terms. We will see what Pidgin is, what Creole is. Yes, in order to make you to understand the Pidgin and Creole, and language cannot be a language in a whole night. It crosses many stages. Yes, a pidgin can become Creole, Creole become language. Pidgin is simply the speech form of the native speakers. Usually, we do not find the written form in pidgin. Yes, simple native language of a community is called pidgin. Pidgin language, pidgins are simply the starting point of the language. Yes, pidgin languages will take the shape of Creole. Pidgin, first step, then the language will get the other shape, that is Creole. Creole step. Creole is something modified and standard version of the pidgin. After Creole stage, we get Langue or language. Language is social aspect. Social aspect of the language is called Langue. Then parole is something like individuals' realizations are called paroles. Yes, we need to discuss and understand these four concepts. Every human language begins its journey from pidgin stage. Say, for example, English language had the stage of pidgin when it was in the Old English period, Anglo-Saxon period. The two tribes in British Islands, they were able to speak in a different language called Anglo-Saxon language. Anglo-Saxon language was pidgin language. When it comes to the Middle English period, it became Creole language. And after getting the literary form, it becomes the full-fledged language form. In order to say the hierarchy, it is like hierarchy type of thing. First step of any language is pidgin, like infant stage. Then it reaches Creole, then it reaches language or langue state. Now you can look at page number 291. A pidgin is, please underline, a pidgin is a speech form which does not have native speakers and is therefore primarily used as means of marginal communication between two or more groups who do not share a language in common. It is mostly commonly employed in such situations such as trade, where two or more groups speak a contact marginal language to communicate with one another. It is a reduced language that results from extended contact between groups of people with no language in common. Yes. It means at the initial days of the human journey, all languages are pidgin languages because pidgin is an initial speech form which does not have any particular speakers of its own. Just pidgin languages are used for communication, very temporary communication can be noticed in pidgin stage. Yes, and moreover, pidgin language is not the native language of any group of people, any speech community, but serves as the contact language. That's all. The main purpose of pidgin language is it serves as the contact language, but it did not have any bunch of native speakers of its own. Yes. And the process of this pidginization involves more than one language. Yes. Because we cannot have the specific native speakers in pidgin stage. And pidgin languages usually they built from words, sounds, and a body of body language from multiple other cultures and language. That is why pidgin languages were uncertain languages. Uncertain. For example, take any country. Chinese pidgin English, yes, and Hawaiian Creole, and even Old English period pidgin languages. Yes. Now look at the characteristic features of pidgin languages in page number 292. 292. Yes. Can you read 292? Pidgin is very simple form of.
Pidgin is a very simple form of communication. It does not involve complex vocabulary, sentences, or grammatical structure. There is also no complexity in terms of phonetic and phonemic structures. Some of the basic features of Pidgin are given below. A.
One.
You use the separate words before the verb to indicate tense. 2. Repetition of words to represent plural numbers, superlative degree, and other parts of speech. 3. Use of basic vowels A, E, I, O, U in communication. 4. Uncomplicated sentence clusters. 5. Reduction of consonant clusters. 6. Maximum avoidance of tone variations. 7. No use of morphophonemic variations. 8. Number of the inflections are minimized. 9. High percentage of content words with a correspondingly small percentage of function words. 10. Little morphological marking. 11. Word classes are more flexible than in adult language pre-conversation. 12. Contrast in the form of pronouns is greatly reduced.
Yes. See, these are the characteristics of pidgin languages. In fact, we cannot see definite vocabulary, sentences, or grammatical structures when the language is at the pidgin stage. I can say very primitive use of the language, and also pidgin languages do not have the native speakers. In the olden days, when barter system was there, in order to communicate the things, pidgin languages were given importance. In page number 293, you can see the development of pidgin languages, how different social situations contributed for the development of Pidgin. Yes, one by one, maybe you may see here some 8 or 9 social situations how the Pidgin languages were. Yeah, situation 1, an absence of widespread accessible interlanguage. Yes, at that time, need for a contact language. When we are in absence of widespread accessible interlanguage, at that time, there is a need for the language. 2, need for communication between. In the olden days, when the people were not contacting with one another, at that time there were no languages. When the people want to communicate with other group, then there is need of the language. Then origin of Pidgin was started. 3rd stage, long contact between different languages and communities. When the contact was too much long and there was a long association between 2 social groups, then Pidgin practice, the practice of Pidgin was strengthened. By the 4th stage, marginal contact, then the marginal contact, then Pidgin was restricted. Then nativization, people were settled. People used to settle at one place while they take their own place, and while they were settling at place, at that time Pidgins were extended because they were users of the same language for a long time, so that language development could be noticed in that stage. F, development of Pidgin to a mother tongue. When the Pidgin languages become the mother tongue of the particular people or native people, that process can be called Creole. Creole means the evaluation of Pidgin as a mother tongue of certain group of people. That particular linguistic phenomena can be called as Creole. All Pidgin languages may not reach the Creole stage. Most of the Pidgin languages will escape, will die at the Pidgin stage only. Yes, English has crossed different stages from Pidgin to global language. Yes, when human society did not have the permanent settlements, at that time we could notice Pidgins. If the Pidgin language is strengthened for a long time, they become the Creole languages. See, F is very important. Development of Pidgin into a mother tongue, it is noticed as Creole. Now, we have to understand this concept, Pidgin, Creole language, like how caterpillar becomes butterfly. What are the stages? Caterpillar turned to the butterfly. Science students must respond. Caterpillar turns to be the butterfly. Is it possible or not?
Larva.
Yes.
Phosphorus.
Does it take time or it happens in a whole night?
It takes time, sir.
Similarly, Pidgin languages will become Creole languages. Some languages will die at the Pidgin stage only. Most of the languages will die at the Pidgin stage only. Yes. In the olden days, yes, I'm talking about the Neanderthal stage. I'm talking about the Neanderthal Homo sapiens stage of the human evolution. And G, movement towards standard language, this is called decreolization. This is the understanding of the journey of the language from Pidgin stage to Creole stage. Now you can look at page number 294. Creole. What is Creole? Can you read now?
A Pidgin language becomes a Creole language when a generation of children learns a Pidgin as their first language. The vocabulary.
Very important. Please make it underline. A Pidgin language will become a Creole language when it has the local or native speakers. say for example, a generation of children learns the same Fijian language, then it becomes their mother tongue, then it becomes their first language. This step can be noticed as Creole language in the evaluation of the language system. Next, the vocabulary.
The vocabulary of a Creole language is largely supplied by the parent language, that is, the Pidgin. However, the grammar often has original features that may differ substantially from those of the parent languages. In
Yes,
other words,
yes. Simply, the grammar of the Creole languages take from the parents' language. You can see line number 6. Yes, 7. Line number 7. Underline. Creole is a modified and standard version of a pidgin. Yes, simply, Creole is a modified and standard version of a pidgin. In this way, a Creole language is a stable and natural language developed from the mixing of parent languages. Creoles differ from pidgins, which are believed by scholars to be necessary precedents of Creoles, in that Creoles have been nativized by children as their primary language, with the result and they have features of natural languages. Yes, that is why you have to understand this. The last line, however, not all pidgins become Creole languages. A pidgin may die out after transforming into Creole language. Pidgins may not live for a long time. It may die after transforming into Creole languages. An example of Creole English from Jamaica is quoted here from Randolph Crooks, The English Language and Images of Matter. In this, we can notice some of the words which we cannot see. Hey, Dan, said, ma, way, in, lid, ham, say, may, ink, no, we. Do you find these words now? We do not find these words now because of the old version. It is like Creole English from Jamaica. It is noticed in this text. If you understand, if you translate the same text into the modern English like this, he said then, ma, lid, and where does he live, mother? Mick, no, weak pick me, but don't click him. I don't know my child. Name hand, she said, or any wide in a deep hole, none hook all den, but do not look hard for his name or anywhere. Students, are you noticing this? No,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Sureka is making research. Sureka or something. If they on their mic. Oh. This is about Creole languages and language and parole, page number 298. In this, we find the definition and the discussion between parole. Basically, talking about parole is the individual realization of the system which is used in actual instances of communication that can be noticed as parole in English. Yes, you can see the definition for parole in second paragraph of page number 298. Yes, according to M.H. Abraham, language and a parole in the following way. A parole is, underline, a parole is any particular meaningful utterance, spoken or written. That's all. Meaningful, spoken or written utterance. The language is the implicit system of elements, distinctions, and oppositions, and of principle of combination. These are two important concepts of parole and language. Noam Chomsky's ideas are very important while understanding parole, the concept of parole. Page number 299, you can notice the middle paragraph. Noam Chomsky paragraph is very important to understand. Noam Chomsky, a famous language scholar, sociolinguist, whose ideas have given a modern shape to the language learning theories. Noam Chomsky has substituted the notion of language and parole with the notions of competence and performance. Yes, he has associated these two things with competence and performance. Try to understand the two concepts like competence and performance. Come to page number 300, Standard English. Standard English in page number 300. Standard English is the variety of English that is generally acknowledged as model for the speech and writing of educated speakers in UK. Yes, I have given you the information regarding Standard English, how the educated people of Southern England use the received pronunciation RP, which is the standard pronunciation in English. Yes, among all pronunciations, Standard English is the received pronunciation that plays a crucial role in the educational system of the world. Yes, throughout this, it is noticed as the Standard English. Even in our curriculum, we give importance to the standard set of English. But when we talk about the term Standard English, always it is giving lot of scope for the discussion. It is understood as understood in many ways, from different ways, so that we try to understand the concept of Standard English. And based on, basically, Standard English cannot be defined in a strict manner. Standard English depends on both the locality and the particular varieties. Yes, that is why Merriam-Webster Dictionary gives a different definition for Standard English. Yes, they said that spelling, grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary in Standard English is substantially uniform, though not devoid of regional differences. And that is why the concept of Standard English is always like a discussion and debate and discourse. Still, it is a debate to it. And come to 29 World Englishes. As I said, there are varieties of English. In this, you will find the concept of World English, Cutcher's model of World Englishes, which is important for long questions, and also Tom MacArthur models of World English. These two are long questions for this. Cutcher's model is 307, page number 307. You can look at page number 307. Here you find the Cutcher's model. Braj Cutcher is an important linguist scholar. Yes, Braj Cutcher was an important linguistic and emeritus of linguistic. Yes, and he coined the term of this World English. Yes, he published number of works, and after this, he had divided the world speakers of English into three circles: the inner circle, the outer circle, the expanding circle. Yes, after making elaborate study, he had made the world Englishes into three circles. The inner circle people are whose language is English as mother tongue. Yes, English is mother tongue in the inner circle countries. English is mother tongue. That means L1 in the inner circle countries. Outer circle like India. Yes, English is not mother tongue. English is used as second language in the education and in the employment. Outer circle countries, English as L2. Inner circle, English as L1. Expanding circle, English as L3, language 3. They use English for their day-to-day, not their day-to-day communication, for business purpose, for
diplomatic things, they use English. This is the concept known as the circles, three circles. You have to draw this map in the examination. Kachru's model is much more important in our academic examination. Inner circle, outer circle, and expanding circle. Inner circle L1, English, the status of English in inner circle L1, like America, England, Bangladesh, America, England, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and Caribbean islands, they use English as mother tongue. Outer circle like India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, all Commonwealth countries, all colonial countries. Outer circle like China, Russia, Egypt, and Malaysia, Singapore, and other countries, they use English for the communication. This is the importance of Kachru's model of understanding the concept. Yes, you can see Tom MacArthur model in page number 309, World English concept. In this also, you have to identify different circles of World English. You have to go through the table. In this table, you will find some subdivisions. If you understand this table, this map, this diagram gives you understanding of the different circles according to Tom MacArthur model. Tom MacArthur model is important. Kachru's model is important. You may get a question on either on Tom MacArthur or question on Kachru's model. Hope this you understand the concept of this. Right? With this, we can conclude the discussion on the paper 1, and only the last topic that we left, that is also very easy. The varieties between American English and British English. Yes, points wise information have been given. What are the differences between American and British English? Pronunciation differences, punctuation differences, derivational differences, and we have different types of differences between American English and British English. For each type, you take a and give one or examples for differences of American and British English. It is like casual information. Just you go through the information, try to take down one or two examples for each category of difference. Students, okay, have you understood?
Yes, sir. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Only saying yes or really?
Yes, sir. We have understood clearly.
Okay, hope you understand the concepts of paper 1. I have tried my level best to teach you in a simple way, to give you the subject in examination point of view in a simple way. Try to go through the text and follow our things and follow the different things and do well. Wish you all the best. We'll see you later.
Excuse me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, some of you are asking.
Yes, sir. Sir, what are the differences between idiolect and style?
Related to
That
related to
idiolect.
same person. Style means formal and informal. Style based on the situation. Idiolect based on the individual's performance. Just to go through that biological differences between these two.
Sir, can we follow model papers? Can we go through it?
Yes. Okay. Shall I go? Shall we wind up? The students, wish all the best. Do
Sir,
well.
1 minute. Sir, can we go through model papers?
I do not know whether you want to go model papers or how can I say?
Okay.
How can I say?
Thank you, sir.
It is up to you whether you go to. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you.